if you've got any props, blocks, belts, cushions, blankets, then just keep them close by, and don't be afraid to use them. So we're going to come onto our backs, have the feet together and the knees out wide, so just external rotation of the hips. You can bring the knees like this, bring the hands onto the belly and close down the eyes and just come into your breath. And for the first 2 or 3 exhales, just sigh out the mouth, just letting it go. And we're going to breathe in through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. And just follow through with your own breath. Just bring yourself into the moment. Just bring your awareness to the breath, and as you inhale, feel that belly rise, pressing into the hands. As you exhale, just notice it gently drawing back down. Just see that space in the ribs as we inhale, gently drawing back as we exhale. You can take that breath up to 5 or 6 if it's available. Just slowly move your awareness to the sides of the ribs now. You can take your hands there. And again, as you breathe in, just feel that space as the rib basket just gets bigger. Gently drawing back to the midline as we exhale. Slowly moving your awareness to the back of the ribs. You can take the hands there if you like. And just let that breath reach those costo-vertebral joints, so where the ribs meet the spine. As we're breathing in, we're filling up the lungs, causing that diaphragm to draw down towards the stomach. That's what's causing that belly to rise. Let's slowly move our awareness to the chest and the shoulders. Maybe taking the hands there. Just notice on the inhale, the heart opens, the shoulders draw away from the midline. Exhale, draw it back. And we're going to slowly take our awareness down to the whole body. So you can visualize yourself looking down. And as you breathe in, see if you can cultivate a sense of breathing in and lifting the whole body. And exhale as we draw back down. And at any time, if your mind wanders, just draw it back to the breath as many times as you need. Just notice how the body's feeling today. Be mindful of any pains, any aches. Just being kind to yourself. Not forcing anything in the practice. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And on the next inhale, let's gently draw the knees in towards each other. So take your time, and we're going to bring each knee into the chest. And just give yourself a nice little hug and a gentle rock from side to side. We're going to come to stillness, and you're going to inhale as you lift the forehead towards the knees. Exhale to release. Take 2 more, and you can take the arms up as well. Start engaging the core here. Slowly release. Bring the feet to the mat. Take the arms to the side, and we're going to inhale as we lift the hips up, coming into bridge pose. Start working the quads, pressing the feet into the mat. Start engaging those inner thigh muscles, keeping that nice stability in the body. Let's gently come down on the exhale. I'm going to take both feet into the air and just press them towards the ceiling. I'm going to flex the toes towards the face. I'm going to point and flex. You can take the arms and you can mirror it with the hands and the wrists. And just take a few rotations of the ankles and the wrists in both directions. Slowly start opening the legs out wide, opening out the thighs, the groin area, the hamstrings. And take a little rock side to side on that pelvis, if it's comfortable. Slowly, slowly, just draw the legs back together. Take the arms by the side, and we're going to start with our leg raises. We're working into the abs. You can tap the abs, just take it down towards the mat and lift. And up. Don't forget to breathe with it. I want you to take 4 more where there you are. So you should do roughly about 10. When you've done your last one, just bring the knees into the chest and just take about 2 or 3 breaths. And this time we're going to bring the legs up again. And I want you to take the legs just a little bit down, maybe about 45 degrees. And we're going to take it out side to side, over and across, over and across. And just work through a few of these in your own time, with your own breath. Just feel the abs engaging. Just keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the legs in together, knees into the chest. Let's take about 3 breaths, a nice big breaths. I'm going to take the legs up in the air. And this time we're going to take our circles. We're going to work into the front of the abs and the sides of the obliques. So you can take it whichever direction you want. Try to keep control. You can make those circles small or big. It's entirely up to you, however deep you want to go. You can come back to center and you can take it the other way. Just take 1 more in each direction. Slowly bringing the knees back into the chest. Just taking a few moments here. I'm going to bring the feet back to the mat. Just check you can brush the heels with the fingertips. Arms by the side, lift up into your bridge pose. And this time you can take one of the legs in the air as well. If you lose that dip, then you can release that leg. But engage the core, lift, and exhale as you gently release, come back to the mat. And this time we're going to rock up and we're going to come up like so. Keep the knees bent. We're going to do 1 more abs exercise. And we're going to bring ourselves into our Navasana, our boat pose. So as you inhale, lift the legs. You can keep them bent if you want. And we're going to take a few of these. So bringing the knees in towards the chest, bringing the chest towards the knees. And if you want to take it from side to side, you can. Just mix it up however you want. You can hold it. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and release. Bring yourself all the way back to the mat. Just take the arms to the side. Just take a couple of breaths. We're going to come into one more bridge press. So we're going to inhale to lift. And you can take the other leg up if it's available. And when you're ready, slowly release on the exhale. I'm going to take the arms out to the side. I'm going to do a couple of twists. So I want you to bring the knees bent like so. We're going to take a deep breath and exhale. As you inhale, I want you to lift the hips and I want you to move them slightly over to the right. And we're going to just exhale as we twist over to the left. You can bring the knees in towards the chest. That will work into the mid-back. It's entirely up to you. You can take the hand to increase that twist by pressing your legs down. And just see if you can draw that right scapula towards the mat. You just intensify that stretch. And when you're ready, slowly come back to center on the next inhale. Just take a couple of breaths here, bring the feet to the mat. I'm going to take it out to the other side. So take the arms out wide and you're going to lift the hips and just shuffle them a little bit towards the left. And this time we're going to bring the knees over towards the right. So it might be very different on this side. I tend to be a bit tighter on my left. So just go with it and be kind to your body. And again, you can bring the knees in towards the chest if you want to work into that mid-back. Breathing into that left side body. When you're ready, slowly coming back to center on the next inhale. And let's just draw the knees into the chest. And just rock up and down the spine just a couple of times. And we're going to come back onto the mat. Take the legs out, stretch the hands up overhead, point the toes away from the body. So a nice big stretch. And in your own time, just roll over onto your belly. So just bring yourself back onto the mat. You're going to take the arms, take the hands towards the shoulders, press the tops of the feet into the mat, and we're going to inhale, we lift up, coming into our up dog. You can do it like this, or you can stay on the triceps, coming into Sphinx pose. So we're just stretching the abs a little bit. Couple more breaths here. And when you're ready, just bring yourself back to the mat and just bring the arms down by the side of the body. Let's just take 3 breaths here. And I want us to all meet in our plank pose. So we're going to work into the triceps. So come into your plank pose, the fingers spread out nice and wide, heels drawing away from the body. And we're going to do chaturanga push-ups. So just take a look if you want to be sure how to do it. We're going to just go down, draw the elbows into the hips, into the ribs, and lift up. And down, and up. Just take a cycle of 5 and drop back into child's pose for about 3 breaths. These are quite strong poses. Just come back into child's pose. Let's come back into plank. Take 5 more. So you don't want the elbows to go too far down. So 90 degrees, a little bit less. You want to protect the front of the shoulders. You can take this on the knees if you want. It's entirely up to you. Just drop back into child's pose. So we're going to do about 10. And just take a couple more breaths in child's pose, and we're going to meet in our tabletop position. So we're going to meet in all fours. So you want the wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. And we're going to take our cat-cow breath. So as you inhale, tilt the pelvis away from the belly, draw the belly towards the mat, take the shoulders in towards the spine. Gaze comes up. Take your time as you exhale, reverse that motion around the shoulder blades, gaze down. And if you've got any tight spots in the back or the spine, then you can maybe just breathe into those a little bit more. Now I want you to have a go at some of these on the fingertips as well, just to feel a different sensation in the body. Just take your time, feel that fluidity in the spine. And take a couple more, and we're going to come back to our neutral spine. And on the inhale, tuck the toes under if they're not already tucked. We're going to lift the knees and hold. Breathe in, breathe out. And exhale to release. We're going to inhale as we take that right arm out parallel with the mat, reaching forward. Take that left leg up. Try to line up the hips, press that left foot away from the body. You can stay here, or you can bring knee to elbow, just working into the abs a little bit more. Take a few with your own breath. Remember, try to do these poses with honesty, so we're not rushing them. We're just taking them as far as it's comfortable. Just take a couple more. And release. Just give that left wrist a little bit of a twist and a turn. Then we're going to move over to the other side. So we're going to take that left arm out, so reaching forward, right leg comes up. And you can take knee to elbow. So try to keep the hips in line if that's possible for your body. So you're working into the abs. We're just going to take a couple more. And release. And this time I want you to turn the fingers to point towards the body. So we're just stretching into the wrists. You can take a few little circles like so. Entirely up to you. Just notice that sensation. You can rock it back and forward. It's quite a strong stretch in that forearm, so just take it easy. And if you've got hypermobility in the elbows, like I have, you've got to be a little bit careful not to take it too far. When you're ready, just release the wrists. And we're going to slowly sit back on the heels. We're going to inhale as we lift the hands up, take the gaze up. Take hold of the right hand in the left wrist and just stretch it over to the left. And back to center, switch it and take it over to the other side. And release. And just take a few shoulder rolls. We're going to come into our sword yoga sequence. So just keep the sword close by and just bring it in. And we're going to bring, which one are we going to do? We're going to bring that right knee forward, take hold of the sword, and we're going to come into longer. So remember, if you don't have a sword, it's completely fine. You just do this. Keep the fingers nice and active, nice and energetic. You're coming into your longer or whatever pose you choose. Keep it nice and strong. Remember, feel that back hip flexor as we're extending into that back hip. And we're going to release the bum to the heels. You can take it into frontale. And just take the right toes off the mat. You can take the left hand onto the mat and have a go at lifting that right leg off. Try releasing that left hand. It's entirely up to you. And let's come back into our posture longer. And this time we're going to come back again and take another pose. So I'm going to take bicorneo, so elbows drawing in towards my body. You can flex that right foot, working into that right hamstring. And then we're going to come back forward, take it around to the inside of that right leg, coming into a side lunge, and take the sword into your finestra. So just remember your postures and your positioning. Just taking the gaze over towards the left. And then we're going to lift all the way up, come through center, take it over to the left knee, coming into your sinestra. Bring it nice and strong. And then we're going to release, we're going to take the sword towards the left, bending into that left knee, coming into our longer on the other side. So we've just done a 180 basically. You can take it how you want, working into the arms. We're going to take the bum back towards the heels, coming into bicorneo or frontale. It's entirely up to you. Coming back into your longer. I'm going to come back, bum towards the heels, and you can take another posture. So I'm going to take frontale. And then we're going to come back, and this time we're going to bend into the left knee, coming around the side, coming into our sinestra again. So just flexing into that right foot. And I want you to come all the way up to center and come into your goddess pose. And I want you just to take the sword, point towards the mat. And let's pulse it here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. So you're working into these muscles of the legs. And then we're going to lift up. We're going to take the sword in the right hand. We're going to take it pointing towards the left, and we're going to bend into that right knee. So come into your version of warrior 2. So you want the right toes towards that short edge of the mat. The left foot is going to be the outer edge parallel with the short edge of the mat. Take the left arm out. Just point the sword like so. We're going to take the left arm behind the waist. We're going to flip the point downwards, coming into our reverse warrior. Keep that bend in the right knee. And then we're going to lift back up, coming back into our warrior 2 variation. I want you to take hold of the other end of the sword, lift up, come back into your goddess pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. And release. And this time I want us to work the other side, which I always tend to mess up a little bit. So we're going to come into warrior 2 on the other side. So we're going to be bending into the left knee this time. And we're going to take the gaze the other way. So let me see if I'm doing this right. I think so. Keep it nice and strong. And take the right hand behind the waist. I'm going to flip into our reverse warrior. So you're stretching into the left side of the body. I always get it a bit wrong on this side. I'm just taking my time. And we're going to inhale as we come back up into our warrior two variation. Then take hold of the edge of the end of the sword and come up into our goddess pose. And we're going to do something a little bit different this time. So take the sword in the right hand, and I want you to come into your posture longer. So bending into that right knee. Now we're going to hop that left foot in just slightly because we are going to float into our warrior three. So remember, this is just a choice. You don't have to do this. Release the left hand to the waist, and we're going to float that left foot up. Start pivoting forward. You can take the sword wherever you want. You can do a different pose. It's your choice. You can release that left arm. And then we're going to inhale as we lift up, and we're going to bend that left knee behind the right knee. Just bend both knees and come back into your warrior three. And let's bend knee to knee one more time. And I want you to release that left foot beside the right and just come into your chair pose. And just take the sword out into your posture longer. We're going to work through the other side now. So lifting up. And this time we're going to bring the sword into the left hand. Take the right hand to the waist. And we're going to lift that right leg off the mat, coming into our warrior three. And again, you can do whatever you want with the sword here. It's your choice. And we're going to bend both knees, bringing the right knee to the back of the left knee. And let's lift it back up. Don't worry if you wobble out of it. And let's bend the knees into each other one last time. Let's take it back out into warrior three. And slowly, slowly bend the knees again. And we're going to bring that right foot to meet the left, coming into one more chair pose. I'm going to come all the way down. I want you just to put the sword down to the side. And take the hands to the mat. I'm going to step the right leg back and the left leg back. We're going to come into our downward facing dog. So press the feet into the mat. Take the shoulders away from the ears. So just externally rotate the upper arms. Breathe into the back of the body. And let's take 3 lion's breaths here. We're going to work a little bit more into the triceps. So I want you just to release the elbows to the mat. And lift. Let's take 5 of these. You can take them as slow as you want. Try to see if you can keep that dog shape when you come up. When you've done your 5, slowly walk the hands towards the feet. And just come into ragdoll for a few moments. Shake it out, whatever you need. And let's walk it back out into downward facing dog. So take your time. We're going to take 5 more. Dipping the elbow towards the mat. So just be careful, there's a danger of losing that downward dog in this pose. So try to engage the body here. So when you've done your 5, walk the hands back towards the feet. And let's ragdoll it again. We're going to do 1 more of those. So just take about 2 or 3 breaths more. Let's slowly walk it out for 1 last round. So elbows down to the mat. When you lift, make sure you're still in your downward facing dog. You can do this a bit lazily if you're not careful. And this time, take a couple more breaths in your downward facing dog. And I want you to take the gaze between the hands and slowly walk the feet towards the hands. And just come into your ragdoll again. You can take opposite elbow, shake the head, nod the head. And just slowly bend into that right knee a little bit more. Take the right hand to the mat, lift the left arm up, come into a nice twist over to the left. You can open the heart as much as you want. Draw the ribs over to the right, to the left, sorry. And we're going to exhale to release. And let's just take it the other way, bending into the left knee. And take the right arm up. And release. Just come to your point, wherever the fingers reach, whether it's the toes, the mat, the shins. And as you inhale, just lift the chest, straighten the arms. Exhale to release. Just take a few of these, your own breath. See if you could use that breath to find any more space. And remember to not force anything. Just slowly come to stillness. And as you inhale, bring yourself all the way up. Take the arms up, come onto the tiptoes. Nice big stretch. And release. Let's just take a few shoulder rolls as you come into your Tadasana. So bring the feet wherever they're comfortable. Take a look at your toes, lift them up, spread them out as you bring them back to the mat. Shoulders away from the ears, arms by the side. Let's take 2 nice breaths. And we're going to inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's step it into plank. And we're going to come into 2 chaturanga push-ups. So just take your time, lift up. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, let's lower it down through your chaturanga. Inhale as we open the heart. Press the feet into the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Going to inhale, we lift the heels. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Exhale as you gaze between the hands. Step or walk feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Gaze to the sky. Exhale. Bring the arms down. Let's take 2 breaths. We're going to inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back into plank. You can stay in plank or you can release that left hand off the mat. Come into your side plank. Take any variations you want. You can bring knee to elbow. It's your choice. Just do what works for you. And let's exhale and meet back in our plank pose. Take a nice deep in-breath. Exhale, lower it down through chaturanga. Inhale, open the heart. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to inhale that right leg in the air. Flex that foot. Bend the right knee. Bring the right foot between the hands. We're going to inhale as we shoot the arms up, coming into our low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you, coming into arrow lunge. So remember to keep the torso nice and strong so we're not leaning too much into that right leg. Inhale, sweep it up. And this time I want you to shoot that left foot in just a couple of inches. And on the inhale, we're going to lift that left knee and bring it all the way up into the heart. So we're standing on that right leg. So don't worry if you wobble, flex that left foot. And release, come back into your low lunge. And again, shoot that left knee, lift up. Press that right foot into the mat. And release. Come into your low lunge. Let's sweep it back into arrow lunge. And this time we're going to release the hands just in front of that right foot. And I want you to shoot that left leg in the air, coming into your standing splits. You can have a little go at releasing the hands towards that right leg. It's entirely up to you. Just give it a go if you want. And we're going to release that left hand off the mat. Take that left hand towards the sky, coming into half moon pose. You can take the gaze up if you want. Or like me, you can keep it towards the floor. You can start bending that left knee, bringing that left foot in towards the buttocks. And we're going to slowly start bringing that left knee in towards the heart. Sweep that left arm as well, round the back. And then we're going to slowly release that left foot towards the mat. Sweep both arms up, coming into your chair pose. You can lift it up onto the balls of the feet. Entirely up to you. Just making the adjustments. And again, try to keep it a nice, honest chair pose. Sink a little deeper if you want. Let's take one more inhale and exhale to release. Fold it forward. Inhale as we halfway lift. And we're going to exhale as we step back into our plank pose. And you can do whatever you want. We're going to meet in downward dog. So if you want to have a go, a vinyasa, coming up into your up dog, then you can take it into your downward facing dog. And if you want to take it a bit further, you can take that right leg in the air, come forward into your three-legged plank, and work through a three-legged vinyasa. These are all options. When you're ready, let's just meet in downward facing dog. Let's take 3 lines breaths here. Remember to try and get that breath into the back of the body as well. So we're not just sinking into your heart here. Nice and strong. Let's take one more inhale. As you exhale, gaze between the hands. Step or walk, feet to hands. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise through Hastasana. Exhale, come back down. Take a couple of moments here, have a sip of water. We're going to go over about 2 or 3 minutes because we did start a little bit later. So hopefully that's all right. Wow, it's hot in here. So just shake it out a little bit. We're going to come back into Tadasana. I'm going to work through the other side. So, remember. We're going to inhale to rise. Nice and tall. Exhale. Let's float forward. Inhale. Halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Just stay here for a little bit longer and check your alignment. Check you're not sinking into the back. Keeping it nice and neutral. Exhale. Let's step back into plank. Remember the options. You can lift that right hand off the mat, coming into your side plank. You can take knee to elbow. You can always bring that right foot in front to help with a bit more support. When you're ready, let's all meet back in our plank pose. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower it down through chaturanga. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Coming into downward facing dog. Inhale that left leg in the air this time. Flex the foot. Bend the knee. Bring the left foot between the hands. And let's shoot back into our low lunge. Exhale, sweep it back, arrow lunge. Let's come back into our low lunge. And this time we're going to shoot that right foot in just a couple of inches. And when you're ready, we're going to shoot that right knee back into the chest. I know this side is my weaker side. I'm pressing that left foot into the mat. Shoot it back into your low lunge. Let's inhale it up one more time. Knee to chest. Flex that right foot. Shoot it back into your low lunge. Let's take it into arrow lunge. So keep it nice and strong core here. Exhale, release the hands to the mat. Shoot that right leg in the air this time. Standing split. You can have a go at releasing the hands to that left leg. When you're ready, release that right hand. Take it towards the sky, coming into a half moon pose. Take the gain wherever it's comfortable. I'm not ready for lifting it up. We're going to slowly bend that right knee. Bring that right foot towards the buttocks. I'm going to start bringing that right knee into the chest. So take your time. Sweep the right arm forward with it. And slowly release yourself into your chair pose. You can come onto the balls of the feet. You can take a little variation. And we're going to exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take it back into plank pose. And remember, we're going to meet in downward facing dog, so you can have a go at a vinyasa. Coming up, coming into downward dog, lifting that left leg in the air, and taking a three-legged vinyasa like so. Your choice. And we're going to meet in downward facing dog. Let's take 3 lion's breaths here. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, gaze between the hands. Step or walk, feet to hands. So we're going to inhale as we lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale to release. Take a few shoulder rolls. We're almost there. Let's bring the feet mat distance apart. We're going to slowly start coming towards the mat here. So bring the hands to heart center and start releasing yourself down into your yogi squat. You can drop onto the bum at any point. You can take this opportunity to open out the legs. If you want to have a go at crow pose, you can. So just have a little play with where the hands should go. Nice and spread out. Come onto the tiptoes. See if you can get the elbows, the knee, towards the upper arms. If they're around about here, then it's probably not a good idea to try it. But try and get them in towards the armpits. Have a little go at leaning forward and releasing the weight of one foot at a time. This is quite good for the triceps as well. When you're ready, I'm just going to come with the bum onto the mat. And we're going to do one more little fold. Just open out the feet together like the soles of like you're reading a book. And keep a safe gap between the groin and the heels. And you can just do this for a few moments. You can just open out the hips. And we're going to inhale. And the exhale as we hinge forward from the hips. Keep a neutral spine just for one nice breath. And as you exhale, just let it go. And when you're ready, just take a couple more breaths out and slowly draw the knees in and safely bring yourself into your final Shavasana. And if you want, have a squeeze of everything and exhale. And we'll be here for about a minute or so, if that's all right. So we're going to go over about 3 minutes or so, if that's all right. And we're going to start deepening the breath. And let's slowly start wriggling the fingers and the toes. I'll start rotating the ankles and the wrist in both directions. Just come out for a nice big stretch. And just bring the knees into the chest and give yourself a nice little hug. And when you're ready, I want you to come up into your comfortable seated position. So you can roll out, you can rock up. It's entirely up to you. Then you can keep the eyes closed and the face soft. And we're going to end with our 3 clearing breaths. So you can bring the hands to heart center. It's up to you. And let's slowly bring the thumbs up to the third eye. And I just want to thank you all for joining me for today's practice. And thank you all for patience and bearing with me, trying out new sequences and forgetting them sometimes. And thank you all for wobbling with me. The inner light in me will always honor the inner light in each and every one of you. Thank you so much for today's practice. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Cheers, everyone. Let's see if we've got everyone still there. Yay! Brilliant. Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.